Okay, what we have here, it's kind of like seeing the Grand Canyon for the first time. You say, holy crap. This is pitiful workmanship, but functionally it's got some issues also. This business here, I think this has something to do with the rear lights, and somebody did this intentionally. That's a capped off ground wire. Sure, it was there for a reason. Somebody made this. I don't know. We'll figure this out. And anyway, this heavy wire here goes to the switch that's in the little glove box here for your phone. And I was wondering where these wires go to. That's obviously a power line, so it took a while to figure that out. This amplifier here, it's a 100-watt amplifier, and we get power from this small wire here. I don't know if that doesn't look like 20 gauge, but it might be. It's pretty small. So anyway, 100 watts at 12 volts is about 8 amps. So we got power and ground coming from these two skinny wires here, and the output wire is a heavier wire. So we got a little wire supplying current on the front end and a heavy wire delivering current to the load on the back end. And this purple wire here, somehow or another, that is what activates the siren. That's horn ring. And we've actually got 5 different tones we can use here. We got horn ring, and then tone 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to take this horn ring wire, hook it up to a rotary switch, and then we can select whether we want the input to be horn ring, tone 1, 2, 3, or 4. So that's going to be a little interesting. And we can change the pattern on each tone. There's a button here that where you can change that. So this is what hooks up to the lights on the front fairing. So we're going to try and neaten that up a bit, and we'll I personally do not like these kind of taps. I believe in solder and shrink tubing. Okay, coming around here, this is our stuff, and this looks like solid wire, and we hook into the battery here with several connections, and that's kind of a no-no. At least there's fusible links in there, but here we got a tap and I don't know what this goes to back there. This might be the rear lights. I don't know. And this is probably the turn signal somehow, some fashion. We don't want to jazz with that. This is really a bad way to do things. At least they put some fuses in there, but when you start stacking connections up on the battery, you don't get the kind of thread engagement. And if you really torque it down, you can actually strip the screw out. If you don't have it torqued enough, I've had this happen on 2 bikes, and I tighten these. I used to tighten the screws to the battery with a big screwdriver, and I really lean on it. And been stuck. I was stuck once, and somebody I ride with was stuck. If you got a bad connection there, it heats up, you get more resistance. And I was out at Boondocks, went to start the bike to leave, and it was deader than a doornail. So I waited a while, luckily got it started. I looked up the spec, and even after I had leaned on it with a Phillips screwdriver, I put a hex on there and a torque wrench, and I was able to get about a quarter turn out of it. So that's the way I do that. This little bracket, somebody was in there with a monkey wrench. It looks like this little tab is broke. That holds one of the connectors. I'll call Harley and see how much one of those is. One thing I do like, they put the speaker underneath the trunk. I wish I'd have done mine that way. I mounted mine between this sprocket here and the saddlebag. There's enough room in there, but barely. So I wish I would have thought of that and put mine under the trunk. The way we're going to get power is with this. We plug into the battery tender, and this is a splitter, and we'll use this to run lights and siren, and this will be where we hook up our trickle charger. I think I'm going to order one of these things and get a 3 connector, so we'll have one for the tender, one to hook up our heated gear connector to, and then one to drive the lights and sirens. And we'll by doing it that way, we'll be able to get all those wires that are connected into the battery. So the 50 amp fuse is out, so we don't have any. Things are kind of safe. And you go to when you go to mess around with the battery, you want to take the black wire off first, in case you accidentally touch the red wire to the chassis with the black wire disconnected. Nothing bad's going to happen. So anyway, interesting project. If the dealer did this, you know, this is shade tree mechanic stuff. The dealer guy, he takes some comfort in knowing that Department of Streets and Sanitation is looking for employees, so he might consider getting into another line of work, because this is, you know, this is grade school stuff.